Hey, didn't see you there. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy that season 19 is already almost over. I mean, what? Season 20 is going to be in 2 weeks. New heroes going to be on trial in like 2 days from this recording. Time really does fly by. Wait a minute. I can make a video! Wait, something feels wrong. Hello, welcome if you're new here. Also, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And I want to talk about Vendetta's 2 hero trailers as of November 24th. Now, I'm recording this part before her hero trials, so I will come back in after those / during those, and then we will talk about her. So yeah, let's get into it. I really like what they did here, starting with her being like dazed and confused before tuning back into what's actually happening in the world. It really kind of grounded the cinematic for me rather than it being like a formal presentation she was told about. Rather, it's just her in the moment getting caught off guard and kind of introducing herself or kind of reactualizing herself in her mind or something. I don't know, something like that seems neat to me.
I wish you were here to see their faces. The crowd. The lights.
I may be dumb, but am I the only one that didn't even notice her tattoos / markings on her body at first? Really makes her design a lot more interesting now that I'm looking at it again. But yeah, pretty cool.
They call me La Lupa, the wolf.
Unimportant, but if this isn't how she stops emoting, I'm gonna be really mad, I'm gonna be honest.
But you were preparing me for this, weren't you, Papa? In your way.
I don't feel like enough people were saying how fucking cool this visual is of that massive wolf representing her rage. It's so cool, dude.
Taught me the value in knowing my enemy, in learning to turn their greatest strengths into their weaknesses.
Okay, I just want to say I was never so emotionally hit or hyped by a hero trailer in my life until I saw, well, first I saw Antonio multiple times. I was like, yo, it's Retribution! And then the casual but like very impactful chess piece falling to reveal Antonio's in the glass getting shot. So good. Dude, peak, bro. That was so peak. And I hope, like future heroes, doesn't have to be every hero, but I hope there's another hero next year who has a similar thing where they're connected to lore somehow that's pre-existent in some way, shape, or form. I just, dude, it hits so much harder. I still like the other heroes, but damn, Vendetta just hits hard.
Rage, and I finally embraced what I once hated. I am the wolf. I am La Lupa. They're right to fear me. They will respect me.
After like that bit with Antonio, this genuinely gave me chills the first time. Like it's so cool, dude. And then I especially like the shot afterward, which just overall is just epic as hell. Though I will say her just like kind of coming up normally is kind of lame, but you know, that's just me. But yeah, that is my analysis and thoughts on her hero trailer. Hello, if you couldn't tell, I do have a new microphone for this segment and onward. So yeah, this is being recorded one day before Vendetta's hero trial and will probably be uploaded 1 to 2 days, maybe even a week afterward, but hopefully I can make this a good video for you all. So with that out of the way, let's get back into the gameplay trailer for Vendetta. Just like in the hero trailer, I really like the first shot here because she's like, you know, coming up all intimidating. Then she throws her sword up and then slams it into her opponent and then calls them pathetic, which kind of shows like her uncaringness for them as a person. Then her ferocity, intimidation factor, and agility all in like a short few second shot, which I think is pretty cool. So I don't know about you, but I was a little worried at first when it came to the first person aspect of the melee sword wielder, because like sure on Genji it looks cool, but you gotta make it look different. So I was like, okay, how are they gonna do it? Well, I'm glad that it looks, according to this, it looks really good. And then I like her little. People have been comparing it to a fire strike, and I would say probably projectile size wise, it's probably like a fire strike. But I like the effect of like the smoke coming from behind her and then shooting out of her sword. Like it's not smoke obviously, but it just looks sick in my opinion. And yeah, the rest of this trailer is also really sick. So let's keep going.
Disgraceful. Not good enough.
Alright, we're gonna start with this 10-second clip. So, I love the fact, I'm hoping at least, that in-game she like drags her sword and it's like the little spark, and that's how you know she's coming, is the noise that it makes when she's dragging across the ground. And then I like that they're showing more of the kit up front, rather than like with Hazard, where it's like you got like 2 abilities per, 45 seconds, maybe 1. So in this one, you see her dragging the sword, then she blocks, and you can see Alara eats shit behind her, so it's like not an AoE block. And then, of course, you have her little spinny dash, which I've seen people compare her to Blade and Magic. Now, the only Magic one I can see is the projectile, mostly the visual, because Magic has the little thing over her shoulder, Vendetta has the thing over her shoulder, so I can give you that. But the thing I can't give you is a spinny thing, just because like Xin from Paladins has it, then Magic has it, Vendetta has it. Most versions, like in an MMO, they have that along with the projectile, but not every time does it have the thing around their right shoulder. So there's certain things I can forgive, certain things I can give you, and be like, that's fair enough. But that's one of those ones where I'm like, I don't know, man, I just don't see it.
Enough games.
Once again, a cool ass shot. And then I really like the idea of her throwing her sword then going to it. I think that just opens a lot of potential for rollouts technically with this hero, even though most of her kit isn't that mobile. She has 2 tools to the point where I think you can get a little bit of a rollout going depending on how far the sword can go before stopping.
Oh, impressive. Arriva la punizione! And so, my reign begins.
As for my final few thoughts about Vendetta in this trailer, I do really wish that there was a thing where, like, if she's hit with Carnage while blocking, she would get pushed back a little bit. Same thing for, like, Dragon Blade, just to a lesser degree. I don't know, that would just be cool as hell. But I also like the spark effects that it has, which we did see earlier with Genji in this trailer. I just didn't show it because I figured I might as well do it in this last segment. And then I do like that I don't believe her ult needs her to fly to her sword. It's just a good combo. So for people who are like, oh, she'll be super easy to shoot, yeah, if she goes in the air, but I think she can just, considering we see her use her soaring slice ability, I'm pretty sure that means that she can stay on the ground if she so chooses to use her ultimate. So, yeah, she could flank and do that, go in the air and do that, or just straight up just do it from the ground, which I think does allow for some good play, considering if you're playing against a really good hit scan player, just don't go in the air. Super easy, super simple. And yeah, that is my final thoughts on the hero trailer for Vendetta. Well, I hate to say it, who am I kidding? No, we know I love to say it. I was right. Vendetta feels amazing to play. She feels really good. Not too OP and not too weak, because, like, her counters are very easy to tell. Like, you got Cassidy. Easy counter, bro. You land a freaking nade, it's over. It's Jover if you're like a halfway good Cassidy. Can hit a headshot or 2, she's done. Sombra was surprisingly a little bit of an issue. Because if I'm blocking, to take, not to take damage, she hacks me, I'm cooked. It's the same thing with, like, Ramatra or something, except I don't think Ramatra gets kicked out of Nemesis. So he can still have that. But, like, that's all your survivability gone because you can't escape, you don't have your block, so you're kind of done for. And then obviously the kind of more obvious ones like Orisa isn't necessarily a hard counter like I would say Cassidy is. More like in the vein of Sombra of she can shut you down if she's not stupid. You know what I mean? And then honestly, a comp I was expecting to be absolute cancer, but I didn't expect to see was Venture Vendetta. Now I think the worst comp you're gonna see for DPS is going to be Venture Vendetta, because everything Vendetta has is a dash forward in a way, which works pretty freaking well with the drill dash of Venture. So the double V comp might actually work pretty damn well, which I did predict. I don't know if I said that in the past two segments of this video already, but if I did, great. If I didn't, well, I was thinking about it, and if you don't believe me, oh well, that's not my problem. Other than that, overall, I never really felt the clunkiness that people were kind of like talking about. Like, I sort of get it with her, specifically her whirlwind dash and the fact that it's a camera lock. I don't necessarily hate it. I just think, like, yeah, okay, I get that. That feels a little clunky that your camera gets locked, which I think it wouldn't hurt for them to change because like, it would just change your orientation, really, which I don't think would be the worst thing ever. It might give her more, kind of play opportunity for movement and for getting in and out, because that's kind of her thing is like Doomfist, get in, get out, or like Venture, get in, get out. You're not like a cast where you're going to be poking or anything. You're getting in, you're getting out. Like Reaper, Venture, Doomfist, a little bit of Winston there, Wrecking Ball, that kind of. So, like, I get why they called her a dive character, because she plays like dive characters, but I would say she does not excel at dive. She doesn't excel at brawl. I think she just kind of excels in the way of Sombra, where instead of necessarily diving, while you can dive on Vendetta and you can dive on Sombra, Sombra's better at catching people off guard and eliminating them quickly. And I think that's where Vendetta shines. If she catches a Mercy or something at like half HP, if you can get a swing overhead, she's done for. Even if the two swings don't hit, that overhead's gonna ground her immediately, which, by the way, was not expecting the overheads to damn near ground flyers or people in the air. I don't think it actually fully grounds them like you would in Marvel Rivals, for instance, with the Thing and his grounding, but it's sort of like how she brings them down with her, which I wasn't expecting, but made for some really cool clips. Like in this clip at the beginning, like this video at the beginning, I showed that I was able to hit a Widow through the spawn door, which is funny. And like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect it, so I don't blame her. But like, I'm going to show another video after this one that's playing in the background, where we won both these games, by the way, and I did really well. The first kill of the game was me on an Echo, and then the Echo was kind of salty the rest of the game because I killed her like 3 or 4 times like that, just by going up in the air and saying, "Get out of my sky, bitch," and then I just strike her down. Vendetta is the most fun hero on, like, not even official release to date. I would say I had fun with Wu Young because he was different, but I have fun with Vendetta because she's just insane once you get used to her. She's really good, and I do expect some nerfs, but I want to talk about some other stuff and how people think she should be buffed or nerfed, because the buffs I see and the nerfs I see don't make sense to me. So, let's talk about the egregious things. I've seen people say they want Vendetta buffed. Why? Why? We all know you're going to complain as soon as she's released if she gets buffed. Now, here's what I've seen somebody complain about and why she should be buffed a little bit. Her attack speed. Now, I've seen somebody complain that she attacks too slowly at first, so it's hard to kind of build up the charges. But, like, dog, you literally just, like, okay, let me just explain this, right? So every projected edge hit, your projectile, is a charge. Every hit with your melee is a charge. Every quick melee is a charge. Every whirlwind dash hit is a charge, and you get like 2 of those in one. Or if you hit more than one person, that's automatically like 3 charges. Or the sword throw is a charge, and then you can get an overhead for another charge. It is so easy to build charges that I think it's okay for her base level overhead to be slow. Because somebody wanted her to be buffed in attack speed but nerfed in damage by making it 60 damage, and then 120 damage for a faster attack speed rather than 50, 120 for 130, which doesn't make sense to me. Why would you want her to do more damage baseline? because that means she'll do almost as much as Reinhardt in the baseline hit, which would be kind of insane because I believe her whirlwind dash does 80 damage, which is a Reinhardt swing, but it's because it's an AoE and your camera's locked that it doesn't feel bad. But I already know if she's like 20 damage off from a Reinhardt swing baseline, and then she does almost double, people are going to complain. I don't get it. Another one I saw was survivability. Now, I get it. People don't like the blocks. The reason block slop is a thing is because it's always on tanks. So is this really block slop if it's on a DPS? I don't think so, because how else would she work without the block? Well, this person, I forgot what their suggestion was to nerf the block. I think it was either it could take less damage or it would negate less damage. But either way, they also suggested giving her 25 more armor to make her have 300 HP. So that would be what? I think she's at 125, 150, right? No, because that would be 275. Yeah, so she's at 125 armor. No, she's at 125 armor, 150 health. Giving her 150 armor, I don't think that's the play because then she might be too survivable, and she already does a good amount of damage. But that's because she has to kind of like use half of her abilities to secure a kill. Kind of like Doomfist, kind of like Venture. You need to use damn near all of your abilities to get a kill. So it's fair that she's like a little survivable, but she's very killable, which I like. If you're not dumb, Vendetta is very killable, and I feel like it's very fair. Some nerfs I saw were to her mobility. I'm sorry, you want the melee range character to be less mobile? I'm sorry, but we all know if she's less mobile, I think she will be significantly less fun. That's part of the fun. You're a melee character, so when they come up to you, you can say, "Hey, this is my space." But if you need to make space, you're like, "Hey, I'm in your space. It's my space now," because she can get around and then she can get out. And especially when you combo your abilities, you can get some crazy movement, but you have to use all of your abilities, which I think is fair. And then now bugs. I've already seen a couple bugs. I've never experienced really any of these bugs except really. Also, hold on, actually no, before bugs. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. People are complaining that her overhead is too easy to hit. I don't know about you, brother, but at least on console, it's not the easiest thing to hit. It's not super hard to hit, but like it's not like you're gonna hit it every time. Like if you don't like have good tracking, you're not hitting your overheads ever. You'll hit your 2, but you're not hitting that overhead, dude. I'm sorry, but like it's sometimes a little hard in a team fight, especially because you're up in there, so then you're like, oh, okay, you got confused, oh, and you're turned around now, so now you're not even hitting your overhead, right? Now bugs. Anyway, and apparently there's a bug where like the visual on the ground doesn't match her where your sword ends up, but that's because people are like turning their camera, and that's just kind of like always been a thing. No, because like unless it's like Reinhardt Earthshatter where you're literally locked into the animation until it's done, there's always been that thing of, oh, I do a thing here, I quickly move my camera to try to make it unsync. Yeah, of course it's gonna unsync. No shit, that's how it is. But the other bug that I've kind of been annoyed by that people have already found, and I see people on PC specifically already abusing, is the double overhead. Now, the thing is, I forgot how exactly to do it, but I'm pretty sure you want to use your 2 slashes, jump, and right as you touch the ground while using an overhead, you want to immediately jump again and you'll get another overhead, which I've seen get quaked on show people, and then all of them are kind of abusing, which is really annoying because then she's going to get, because that's probably helping the thing of, oh, she's too OP, is because some people probably aren't even realizing they're getting hit with the double overhead bug rather than just the one overhead. So like, and I've seen it, like visually you don't see it from the other person's perspective. It kind of just looks like she did an overhead, but from like Get Quaked On's perspective, he's doing 2 overheads, which is not good. It'd be different if like it looked like they did 2 overheads, but it doesn't. Unless you're in the first person, it doesn't look like he did 2 overheads. It looks like he did one insanely powerful, what would it be, 260 overhead? Yeah, no, that's not what she does. She does a 130 overhead. So, I don't know. Bugs are annoying. Hopefully it gets patched out and she does not receive a nerf to her overhead, because I think even with an attack speed buff, I think it would just not feel great. Also, I like how slow she attacks. I'm gonna say I like that she attacks kind of slow at baseline because it makes it have more gravity when you hit that first overhead of the game with maybe 2 stacks or no stacks. It just feels good. I don't know. That's just me. And you can call me a Blizzard fucking shill, or well, I'm not a shill, obviously, I don't get paid by them, but a Blizzard dick rider, something like that, whatever, Overwatch dick rider, whatever, you can call me that, but I don't see the point in being overly negative about things when things aren't that bad. Now, do I have criticism with Vendetta? Eh, not really. I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting to have 3 projectiles. I will say that was a thing I was very surprised about. There was 3 projected edge projectiles, but you would use all your block meter. Wasn't expecting that at all. That's pretty neat. I don't really have many issues other than the camera lock. I get it. It's a little clunky. So maybe make it to where you can move your camera and so your orientation of your character changes. That would be a buff, but you could sacrifice, you could mitigate the buff by maybe reducing the damage of Whirlwind by like 10. So it's like 70 if I was correct on the 80, which I might have been wrong. It's very possible. I'm only one man playing Vendetta for a while. We only had a few days. I think tomorrow she's out of here. So I'm hoping to get this video uploaded either the day she leaves or the next day. So either Monday or Tuesday of December. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Vendetta. And I'm going to let the rest of this video in the background play out. And I will see you all in the next video. And I hope you enjoy this one. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot. And bye-bye.
Now they owe me their life. Helping you out. We will take everything from you. I am restored. A taste of poison. I'm here. Keep fighting. Adaptive circuits engaged. Vendetta. Gale the Mahal. Arriva la punizione! Girl, Domohol! I have the payload moving.
We got him where we want him!
Be careful.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Nano,
Administer. The payload has reached the checkpoint.
arriva la punizione! Receive my punishment knows no bounds. Revenge is my birthright. For this, you will be rewarded. Face me!
The Kitsune is ready to be unleashed. Hi. Hey there. 狐の鍵爪を解き放て
Both hearts
I'm standing
pounding!
Trailers up ahead. Oh, I could almost
Go
taste
get him!
60 seconds.
Now they owe me their life.
Whoa! I'm actually on my mission.
This will suffice.
Let's just stick with the payload, huh?
No shortage of work. I claim this.
30 seconds.
Arriva la punizione! What's up?
Let the Kitsune guide you. I'm here.
No one stands in my way!
10 seconds. Adaptive circuits engaged.
Fatevi sotto!
Meg.
I feel a warm side.